Welcome back, friends. Welcome to IBS digital platform. Today we are going to discuss about non-performing asset provisioning norms. What is a non-performing asset? A non-performing asset is an asset which generates no income for the bank. That means an asset which ceases to generate income for the bank is known as a non-performing asset. This classification of non-performing asset is based on the income recognition and asset classification norms set by Reserve Bank of India. There are certain impacts on such non-performing assets. The first impact is those assets which are classified as non-performing assets, they ceases to generate income for the bank. Simultaneously, they attract provision. That is, the income generated from good assets should be earmarked for certain portion towards provision for these non-performing assets. Simultaneously, it blocks the capital, which is a scarce resource, and of course the recycling of funds is also getting affected. Now we will examine the percentage of provision required for standard assets. For standard assets which are not categorized as non-performing asset, certain provision requirement is insisted by Reserve Bank of India. First one, for agricultural and small and micro enterprises, the provision required is 0.25% of the loan outstanding. Housing finance under commercial real estate attracts a provision of 0.75%. Loans to commercial real estates, they attract a provision of 1%. Housing loan at teaser rates, they attract a provision of 2%. And restructured advance, which are permitted to retained in the standard asset category, the provision requirement is 5%. All other advances which are not falling under the above category and which are coming under the standard asset category, the uniform provision of 0.40% is required. If you consider this teaser rates housing loan, those type of loans in which the bank is quoting a lower rate of interest, preferably fixed rate of interest initially, and thereafter switching over the rating mechanism to floating rate of interest, those type of housing loans are known as teaser rate housing loans. So for that type of assets, Reserve Bank has insisted for 2% as provision. When we analyze the provision requirement for non-performing asset, for substandard asset, secured portion of the advance attracts 15%, whereas those substandard assets which are ab initio unsecured, they require 25% provision. That means we can cite an example for ab initio unsecured. If a bank has granted a loan for education purpose and the limit of the loan is below 4 lakhs, in that case, suppose that particular education loan become non-performing asset, for that account 25% provision is required as per these norms. That means ab initio means at the time of sanction itself, if there is no primary or collateral security, then the provision requirement is 25%. Otherwise, only 15% is enough. Number 2, for doubtful assets category 1, secured portion 25% provision is required. For unsecured portion, 100% provision requirement is required. For DA2, doubtful asset category 2, secured portion attracts 40% provision, unsecured portion attracts 100% provision. Doubtful asset category 3, secured portion attracts 100%, unsecured also attracts 100%. So when the asset is resting in DA3 category, uniformly 100% will be the provision. Another category of asset is also there as per IRAC norms. It is loss asset. An asset can be considered as loss when more than 90% of the security value has been eroded, and if you work out the security available for that particular advance or loan as on a particular reporting date, if the amount available under security coverage is less than 10% of the outstanding as on that date, those assets can be classified under loss asset. Normally banks auditors or internal, external RBI auditors only can classify this as a loss asset. Branch can of course recommend it. And this is another table which shows you a higher accelerated provision requirement, a higher provision requirement if the bank failed to report any irregular advance to CRILC. There is a condition put forth before banks that if a particular loan advance of 5 crores and above, if they are falling under the category irregular at SMA 1 or SMA 2 positions, then it has to be reported immediately to CRILC. So when an asset passes after the SMA 0 category, when it enters the category of SMA 1, immediately the fact should be reported to CRILC. If any bank which failed to report that, then for that particular account, accelerated provision is required as per this table. This table will show you the percentage of accelerated provision. Accelerated provision is given on the right extreme of the columns. Secured portion accelerated rate is like this. Unsecured portion accelerated rate is like this. With an example, I can explain you how the provision is calculated. A car loan is sanctioned in 2017 and the present outstanding is 2,50,000. The realizable value of security is 1,60,000. The asset become NPA on 30th of April 2019. Suggest suitable provision for this account as on 31st of December 2020. So first of all, we have to categorize the asset. Just watch this. We have categorized this asset, that is as on 30th of April 2019 to 29th of April 2020, the asset rests in SSA category. From 30th of April 2020 to 29th of April 2021, the asset has moved to DA1 category. So as on this particular date, 31/12/2020, the asset is coming under this category, and for DA1 category, secured portion, the provision requirement is 25%, unsecured portion, the requirement is 100%. If you calculate the provision based on the outstanding as on that particular date, the total outstanding stood at 2,50,000, realizable value of security is 1,60,000. So 2,50,000 minus 1,50,000, it will give you the unsecured portion of 90,000. For secured value 1,60,000, the provision requirement is 25%, that is 40,000. And for unsecured value of 90,000, the provision requirement is 100%, that is 90,000. So 40,000 plus 90,000, the amount is 1,30,000. See this another exercise where there is a coverage of CGT MSC. A car loan is sanctioned in 2016 under MSME and the present outstanding is 2,50,000. The realizable value of security is 1,80,000. The asset became NPA on 31st of March 2019. Bank filed a claim before CGT MSC, who in turn agreed for 75%. Suggest suitable provision for this account as on 31st of March 2021. If you work out this like the details given in the slide, 30th of March 2019 to 29th of March 2020, the asset is resting in SSA category. 30th of March 2020 to 29th of March 2021, the asset is resting in DA1 category. 30th of March 2021 to 29th of March 2023, the asset is moving to DA2 category. So now we can say that as on 31 March 2021, the asset is in this category, DA2 category. DA2 category attracts for secured portion 40% and for unsecured portion 100%. So here total outstanding is 2,50,000, realizable value of security is 1,80,000, and unsecured, out of unsecured only 25% is the net unsecured because 75% of the unsecured portion is covered under CGTMSE. Normally the CGTMSE and ECGC, they will cover only unsecured portion. Secured portion already the primary or collateral security is available with the bank. So the bank can very well sell those security and realize that money. In that sense, the unsecured portion has been reduced to 25% of the total unsecured. If you calculate on that, the provision required for DA2, this particular asset is 40% on 1,80,000 and 100% on 17,500. The total provision requirement is 89,500. So this way you can calculate non-performing asset provisions easily. Friends, I think this have given a good idea. This explanation has given you a good idea about NPA provision calculation. See you friends with a new video on a next time. Thank you for that.
If you like our content, do like, share and subscribe.